Okay, so completely different filming location, but hopefully you can see me and hear me all right, and the outside noises aren't too distracting. But I really wanted to get up my Finish 5 by Fall update since it is the beginning of September, so that's kind of an imperative video that needs to go up like ASAP because I wanted to have an update up for you guys before the finale. So I do have some pretty decent progress, but I definitely am fully aware that not everything is going to be finished, and that's completely fine. I mostly just wanted to make as much progress on these items as I possibly could, but I do have a good, you know, a slightly positive update. I was able to finish off one of the products. It is my Urban Decay Naked lip gloss in the shade Love Child, and at the last update I can't remember if I had taken the stopper out of here or not. I have a super easy video on how to pop those out so you can get the last little bit remaining out of your lip glosses, so I'll toss that up in the cards or something if I remember, but it's super easy to pop those out, and then you have a couple more applications left in here. I probably had, I would say, 5 applications left on the lips. I really enjoyed this. This was one of, you know, my more favorite pink, kind of neutrally pink shades. Love Child is really pretty. They still sell the Naked Urban Decay line of lip glosses in stores currently, so I have had this in my favorites previously, but I'm really happy to have one of the products finished off since the intro video. And by the way, I'll link the intro up in the video cards as well as down in the description box as well, in case you wanted to go back and see where I started and where I was at with them in the beginning. So this next item, I found my Sharpie to mark on it and I have misplaced it. So as soon as this video goes up, I will go in and mark it. But the next product that I had is another one of my Laura Mercier Caviar sticks. I love these. These are probably my all-time favorite eyeshadow base, like a colored shadow base. These puppies can go all over your lid, and you can just kind of blend them out with your finger or a brush and wear them all by themselves. You can kind of blend 2 or 3 colors together on the eyes. You can put them into the waterline. If you have a dark enough shade, you can actually wear it as a liner and just kind of smudge it out if you wanted to. These are super versatile. You can wear them underneath powder shadows and just wear them as the base. But I have mostly been wearing this one underneath a new product that I found, as well as my Urban Decay Feminine palette that's in my Pan That palette for this year. So the silver marking on the cap there, hopefully you can still see that, but that's where I was at the beginning, and currently that is where I'm at. So you know, not the best progress, but I'm pleased that there's anything on here because I've only used it a handful of times, but I definitely think that I can make a nice, you know, another chunk of progress on this guy. Even if I don't finish it up, there's just going to be a tiny bit left over, so it would most definitely be finished by the end of September, maybe even October or something. So I'm happy with the progress on this one, and just for, you know, just for giggles, I'll give you a little swatch here on the back of my hand. I think it's a really pretty shade. Whatever you pair over the top of it, it just kind of tones down that purple tone and just adds a little bit more of a violet touch to it. So I really like this shadow stick. This was one of the first ones that I bought, so that's why it's in this project. I'm just trying to move out some of my older products, but this one was the Orchid Caviar Stick Eye Color, you know, from the Laura Mercier line. I really love these. Again, like I mentioned, let me reiterate that these are probably my favorite stick eyeshadow base. One that I'm not able to mark on, it's making progress, but I'm not able to mark on it. I did have to pop the stopper out of this one as well, and that method that I use for my lip glosses, it'll work for anything. It'll work for concealer tubes, it'll work for mascaras if you need to get that last little bit out. So I've actually used that little tip to get the stopper out of my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer here. You can see the lines through the packaging, and you know, I'm scraping up against the edges. I have the shade Light 2, which is also called Vanilla, and if you look in here, hopefully you'll be able to see like the light shining through on some of the areas, but after I popped out that stopper, I've been trying to use this a little bit more freely on the face and not just in areas that I want to brighten. So I definitely recommend, if you're gonna take the stopper out of a concealer, make sure that you are getting nothing on the wand, but you know that there's still a ton of product left in there. So otherwise you're just gonna end up with a complete crazy mess all over the wand, because when I pull it out, it really doesn't have like a ton of product. It's mostly at the base. Sometimes there's a little bit that'll be on like the actual wand, but I can just, you know, swipe that on the face and easily blend it out. But this one's moving along fine. I have no idea if it's actually going to be finished. This is my third tube of this, and it's almost finished. So after this one's done, I think I've kind of moved on from this. I prefer something that's just not as cakey, and especially down here in my hometown, it is so freaking dry. My skin, if I'm not doing some extra intensive moisturizing things to my skin, it's just, it's a very dry, flaky, horrible mess. So anything that's as heavy as this product, it really shows after about an hour's worth of wear. So I don't know, I think I'm just over this one after my third tube. I'm finally ready to move on to something else. So there was that one. I also had a foundation powder. I really enjoy this, and this is my second or third container of this one as well. I think I've used up 2 of the Bare Minerals original powder foundations, and I've used up one of the matte ones. I noticed that the matte one, I picked the exact same shade, but it almost seemed like it was a little bit darker, even though it was the exact same shade from the original line. So if you do have oily or combination skin and you do purchase the, or if you're wanting to purchase the matte version of this, I would suggest going 1 shade lighter. Just take my word for it. For some reason, and I've heard somebody else mention it before too, so it's not just me, but other people have noticed that it's a little bit darker in the matte version. Regardless, when I tap this all down, when I first started this project, I was about at the halfway mark. These top 2 lines right here that are going straight across, that's where I was at. I honestly haven't been using this on a daily basis. I've barely been using this like once, maybe twice a week, and that's pushing it. It's been a struggle wanting to apply makeup, like a full face of makeup, but I was able to make it down to this part right here. So this one, unless I'm using it on a daily basis, I highly doubt that it's going to be finished off. But again, just like with my caviar stick, if it's not finished, there's just going to be a tiny bit left, and I'm okay with that because they will be finished off before the end of the year, and that's the main focus. That's the main point for my projects when I'm doing them, because I would love to finish everything off, trust me, but if I can, you know, get super close and I'm all the way down to like here or something, I don't mind that it'll take me an extra couple weeks to finish it off, just as long as they do get finished off. So anyway, there was my Bare Minerals foundation powder. I do have the shade Fairly Light, and it does say N10 on here. I'm not quite sure if that's the neutral tone or what, but I think this, when I purchased this one, this was the second to lightest shade. I just didn't think I was quite as light enough to get the lightest shade, but I might be. In the winter time, I might need the lightest shade available. Then I have a really fun product. I love this product, and this one was sent to me through the Octoly website. If you're not signed up for that, see if you can qualify for it, because they'll send you free products that are available at Sephora, super high-end products, things that you've never heard of before, just anything that you wouldn't normally go out and pick up for yourself, or some things that you would. Like, I would go into Sephora and I would pick this up on my own if I hadn't seen it on the Octoly website, but they approved it, they sent it out, and I did a review on it, and I actually really enjoy this stuff. This is the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Kiss Cupuaçu, and I'm pretty sure I'm still saying that wrong, but correct me if you know how to say it. It's got a really weird, it's odd. It's an odd spelling, and I think it's in Portuguese, but anyway, it's the lip butter that they have, and I'll say that this does have the same fragrance as their Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Boom Boom Cream, because the Boom Boom Cream has that fragrance combination of pistachio and like a salted caramel. I feel like this one just has a touch more caramel to it and less pistachio, but they're still along the same scent family. If you enjoy the Boom Boom Cream, you definitely enjoy this fragrance too. And I actually, initially, I didn't like that it was so chunky and big and large, but I actually really like it. It's easy to just slap on, you know, you don't have to be super careful about it, but I was right up at that top mark right there at the intro video, and I've gotten down to there. Let me show you, just so you can see, that's where I'm at. But with this completely rolled up, that is the plastic right underneath my fingernail there. So honestly, all that's sticking out is about that much, but I'm gonna see if I can, you know, use up as much as I can, and then if I have time before the end of the project, I'll start digging out a little bit that's on the inside of the container. I usually don't do that unless I really have fallen in love with a product, or if it's a holy grail product, I'll do that with one of my lipsticks or lip balms. So I'm probably going to end up doing that just a little bit on this one, but I think this retails for $18, which I don't think is too bad. I might pick one of these up again during the Sephora VIB sale in November, because you do get that 20% off discount. So I don't know. We'll just see how this one goes. I have no doubt that this one will be finished off. So that one's pretty positive. So far it's looking pretty good. And then because I was certain that I wasn't going to finish off this last one, I wanted to just toss it in and see how far I could get. But I'm actually pretty impressed with how far I've gotten on this, just from using it from the intro video. This has been my main perfume. Once in a while I'll toss like one of those little sample vials that you can get from Sephora for free. Once in a while I'll toss those in my purse and kind of go back and forth when I need a break. But I love this perfume. I think this is like my third container of this that I went through. I've been wearing this fragrance since 2007. So I've been wearing this for 10 years now, over 10 years. But this is the Viktor & Rolf Flower Bomb perfume. And if you look on the back here, hopefully you can see my lines. That is where I was at the intro video. And I am all the way down to that part. So I definitely don't think that there's time enough to finish this off in this project, but for sure this one is going to be finished off within the next month, I would say. Probably month, maybe 5 weeks-ish. This should be finished off. I really like the fragrance on this, but it's starting to get to the point where it's almost borderline changing fragrance a little bit. It still smells amazing, still smells so good. And I usually spritz on a couple spritzes in the morning. I'll spritz on a couple in the afternoon, early evening time. So I'm applying this twice a day. So, but I think that's pretty substantial just for the amount of time that I've had since I started the project and right now. So anyway, that's where I'm at on this one. I knew from the beginning this one would not be finished off. That's why there was an additional 6th item in this. But if I can finish off at least 3, possibly 4 of these, I would be super happy. So anyway, that's where I'm at so far, and the next update that you'll see from this project is going to be my finale. So let me know if you guys are doing this project too. Please let me know how you're doing. If you're having trouble with any products, maybe I can give you a couple pointers. Maybe you could give me a couple pointers on a couple of these items too. So anyway, that was everything. I really do appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.